All right, so this will be my final verdict on Spice and Wood. I actually sampled this fragrance a while back, and I really liked it. I really liked the scent profile. I remember saying the performance was underwhelming, but I really liked the scent. I thought it was superior, super refined. So I decided to go ahead and get the bottle to really sit with this fragrance. I've been wearing it in the evenings and just when I have a chance to, and really forming my final opinion on this fragrance. Now, this fragrance isn't for me. I actually already sold it. It's going out the door. I'm filming this just because why not? Might as well. To give a final opinion on Spice and Wood. That being said, even though this isn't for me, a lot of people really love this scent. I've seen it been ranked as people's like top fragrance of all time. Some people consider this the best Creed ever. And their opinion and their experience and their taste are just as valid as mine. I'm just sharing my take on it. This one's definitely not for me. And the reason it's not for me is, let me describe the scent real quick. So when this opens up, that's when it's the most interesting to me. I get a pepper, like almost like you were opening a spice cabinet. That's what I like about this. I like that the spice is not just a Cinnabon style spice. It has this very realistic quality to it. And I also get a cedar wood that's super realistic, almost has a resinous feel to it. Cedar wood or woods in general can be kind of too light or not very realistic and not something you could really go deep into. With this one, the wood is just so real and almost has this really nice resinous quality to it, like almost like a density to it. Super realistic, super classic wood with this really nice pepper. And then underneath all that, there's an apple. I really like the opening and first 30 minutes of this fragrance. What happens after 30 minutes is that peppery spice and that really nice cedar wood kind of dials back, and I'm left with this beautiful apple note. And the apple note, what I like about it in this, I can't say whether it's red or green apple. It's definitely not like a fresh cut apple, like you were to cut open apple and get that sparkling fiber natural feel. I'm not getting that, but I'm not getting a gourmand apple. It's not like apple pie filling either. And it's also something that's not really thick. It's almost translucent in a way. So it's really like almost like the best experience of apple I've ever had, whether it's eating apple or it's smelling apple. It's the best smell apple experience I ever had because it's this really light, airy apple, but it's almost like this mix between a gourmand and a fresh cut apple. It's really hard to describe what it is, if I'm being honest. But I think what I like about the apple note in this the most is just how translucent it is. It's not too sweet. It's not sweet enough, and it has this airiness and this lightness. Like I actually wore this in 103-degree weather, and I was perfectly fine because the apple's not thick, like when you think of a scent like Ojon, and it's not too light either. It's just this perfect apple, and that peppery spice and those woods kind of dial in the background, and it really becomes an apple fragrance for me. Okay, so this sounds amazing. So why is it not for me? I do think it smells great. Part of my mind went to this scent is kind of basic, but it's not basic. So anytime I have a thought like that, I kind of challenge my own thought. I'm like, is it really basic? Like if somebody came up to me and said, what does spice and wood smell like? What would I say? I'm kind of left for blank. I think this does what it's supposed to do really well, and it actually is unique. It's a very classic masculine scent. That being said, there's nothing challenging about it at all, and I think that's why I call it basic and why I kind of get bored of the scent in general. This just feels like a crowd pleaser, and I'm really fine with crowd-pleasing scents. Like I'm a big fan of Imagination, for example. But it kind of sucks when it's like a not challenging scent that's not really exciting me and it's not projecting. So that's when we get into the performance of this fragrance and where this one just falls flat. I almost feel if this one really pushed out, I'd be way more interested in it. I would still think it's overpriced, but I could understand it better because it's like, okay, it's not a challenging scent. It's not really, inspiring me to sniff my wrist a bunch. It's not really exciting to me, but it pushes out. It smells really good. I think it's very classic masculine. Like I really think this is the fragrance James Bond would wear. So I would maybe be able to find a place for it. But because it's kind of like not exciting me in the scent profile and it's not pushing out, I kind of get to where I just feel like this is overpriced and it's just not that great. Like I don't, and that whole, is it like superior blended? Is it supremely blended and so much better blended than the other Creeds? I'm not really getting that from this. I kind of got that when I was sampling it a year ago, but I really looked into my psychology and I was like, Am I just giving this a better chance because it's so expensive? Like, is it really so much better blended than Creed Royal Oud or like Green Irish Tweed or Basta Portugal? Is this really like better blended? And am I, as a regular fragrance consumer, am I even able to detect that much of a superior blending? Like, I could tell like the difference between a really cheap $20 Ross cologne and like a Creed, right? So that's like going from a 3 to like a 9 or a 10. But if this is like a 10 and Basta Portugal's a 9, can I really detect that this is better blended? I really actually don't think this is better blended. That's just my personal opinion. And even if it is, I don't even think I'm able to really detect those subtle of differences. Like, I think the regular Creed line is blended fantastic. So maybe this is a little bit more fantastic, but I can't detect the differences. I think the reason I thought this is better blended is simply because I know it's more expensive, so I'm actually looking at it and perceiving the fragrance a different way. I think the other Creeds are better, like Creed Viking and Royal Oud, because they're more bold, and like Basta Portugal is more bold and more of an experience to wear it. This is just more subtle, refined masculinity with a really high price tag. I feel like this targets like the person that this fragrance is for. I don't think it's really for the fragrance connoisseur as much as it's for the guy who can afford to pay retail for this. Like, the person who can pay retail for this probably just wants a really pretty bottle, a sense of exclusivity, and like a subtle classic masculine scent, and going into a board meeting and not really projecting. Like, I feel like that's the demographic for a scent like this, and I could be totally wrong, but it's one of those ones that's just not for me. It's just not worth the price. I can't get over it. I feel like it's grossly overpriced. And when people say that, like, relative to what? Like, this is overpriced, so what in this price range is not overpriced? So I pulled out a couple examples. One is Frederic Malle Promise. You only need one spray of this, 2, and you're being risky. Very complex, more complex than Spice and Wood, more unique. I would 100% of the time reach for Promise before Spice and Wood. Another one would be Nishani Nefs. This is one of the best like oud fragrances I ever smelt in my life. Super refined. Again, you only need one spray, 2 when you're pushing it. Fig, honey, oud, a bit of rose. Amazing fragrance in the similar price range. Another one is Xerjoff Richwood. This is a great fragrance in a similar price range to Spice and Wood. Will last you all day. Sandalwood, beautiful rose patchouli combination, very classic. Anytime I would wear Spice and Wood, I'd reach for one of these 3, and